Preparing live stream. All right, and we are live. Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, Pianki Patai Muntu Nefer Amon Ra. We got another powerful show with you with a powerful brother. The Hebrews are taking over Paradigm Shift TV 314. But before we get into our spiel, let me do my usual greeting. Let me say hotel to my fellow Kemetic brothers and sisters. Let me say shalom to my Hebrew brothers and sisters. Let me say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. Let me say Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the nation of Islam. Let me say peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%. And let me say Jumbo to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you're Black, I'm with you, and I hope you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting, and we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. We can have unity without uniformity. With that, my brother, please introduce yourself to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience.
Shalom, family. I'm very honored to be here. You know what I mean? I'm Zion Wehrman, aka Zion Warchild. I'm the cult killer, and I'm basically I'm a full-time student, full-time dad. I'm deep in the scriptures and stuff like that for a while. I was raised in the church and everything, and at 15 years old, I started exploring Rastafarian movement. So there was a part of my life where I went into atheism for a while. I would say like when I was 36, and then I was resparked. You know what I mean? So I consider myself a Rasta Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Most of my doctrine and ideals come from that train of thought, school of thought. So I lean heavily on scripture, but during that atheist time that I was focusing on science and objective truths in history, that really became a large measure in how I interpret things and stuff. So I'm not no mystical person, and that when I look at scripture, I read it from a context of where certain things are esoteric, metaphoric, metaphysical, allegorical, and then I support that with historical, true science, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I stand, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, that's just basic, overview of me, you know what I mean? And how I do. They call me the cult killer because I see a lot of people coming up trying to be like these cult leaders, you know what I'm saying? You got your nature boys, and there's this other dude named Christ Mikhail walking around talking about he's Jesus and never down. And they're getting followers, and I'm just like, I don't understand how, our people, after all of these years, you know what I'm saying, seeing the history of how pimp preachers and cult leaders have affected and negatively affected our communities, you know what I'm saying, our people. I mean, look at Jim Jones, 90% of his whole congregation that drank that flavor aid was Black, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm not here to destroy nobody's belief system. However, I am focusing on these false leaders. So right now I got two people on my coattail, and they banging in the back chats and stuff on me and sending me all kinds of cuss words and stuff, because one is a Nuwapian, and they were mad about some points that I made about Dr. York, and mostly about his trial. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock Dr. York's early teachings when he was like, Ansaru, you know what I'm saying, Hebrew Islamic, you know what I mean? I love them then, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely, you know what I'm saying? And then there's another brother who's out here, saying that Elijah Muhammad himself is God, is Allah, the creator. And You
I
know,
ain't heard that one.
yeah, man. I'm like, wait, man, what?
Wow.
So he on my coattails now. So yeah, man, I get into a lot of smoke. I get into a lot of smoke with a lot of these cats who are blindly following, men, cult pimp preachers is what I call them. So I'm the cult killer.
Okay, the cult killer. That's a hell of a name, though. All right, all right. And y'all know my co-host. Nobody should trust and believe the gospel. Say what's up, my brother.
What's good? What's good, man? Y'all already know me. Nobody. I always trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody, and that is Jesus the Christ, man. Shout out to the boy Zion Warrior Child, man. We really do appreciate you coming on for this interview, my brother. You know, we just been looking for some prospects, man. You know what I'm saying? Who really know what they're talking about and who really not scared to say what they say and get it on record and actually stand on what they say and defend it. As you know, as I know, bro, for the last couple of years, it's been open season on Israelites, you know what I'm saying? And we may not totally believe the same thing, but we definitely are Bible believers. So if nothing else, we connect on that level all day, every day, man. I just want to give a shout out to the chat. Peace to everybody in the chat. Peace to Teddy. Peace to Black Lion Supreme, Sabio, and everybody else up in the chat. And man, just looking to get this interview going on, man. And after this interview, I just hope that you have that thick skin like everybody else have, man, because you will be challenged just like I've been challenged and everybody else, man. And you know, we ain't running from nothing, my brother. We Bible believers, man. We got God on our side, bro. So so we ain't running from nobody. We're gonna defend the faith, man. And just appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Con, man. Thanks, man.
That's what's up. And so I know you said that you started out as growing up in the church. So with that being said, how did you come into the knowledge that you were an Israelite and the Rastafarian movement and all of that? I know it sounded like you said you were pretty young. Yeah. How did that transition take place, and how did you sort of evolve to where you are now?
Right. So it was very interesting because, growing up, very Pentecostal. My grandfather was a hellfire preacher, stood on the corner, telling people they're going to hell if they ain't, following the Lord. So, when I see, the Israelite brothers doing, just that, that's familiar to me. You know what I'm saying? I know all about that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was a PK. I'm a PK, pastor, preacher's kid, and everything. Grew up in the church. My mom's side, all clergy, all pastors, bishops, and evangelists and stuff. But my father's side, my father, was Ife Ile. He was Yoruba. He was an Olubata. In that. So a couple of times, he would take me, here and there. He didn't want my mom to know because they thought it was witchcraft and stuff like that. But he would take me to the bimbays and stuff, and I enjoyed the spirit that I felt there as well. Go to church, folks speaking in tongues and praying and crying out to the Lord, and and then I saw a lot of that similarity in the African, the Yoruba, So to me, it was like, well, I wasn't distinguishing whether one was evil or one was good at that time, because I got good vibes in both the church and in the Bimbe, So getting a little bit up in the years, it was like that Daisy age period, I'm 47, so I grew up in Long Island. I was around all of the hip hoppers. I grew up around De La Soul, grew up around Rakim, Busta Rhymes, and then that their first video, that Sob Story, that was filmed, that video was filmed right behind my house in Uniondale, Long Island. So I grew up right there in that hip hop era. And then, they got the black medallions, and they're wearing the dashikis, and that was just like the golden age of consciousness, and so now I had to try and kind of merge this identity with this religious identity that I was born into. So and then I just started seeing the Rastaman then, all around, a lot of Jamaican brothers and sisters around, you know, listening to reggae music, going into those basement, you know what I'm saying, reggae parties and stuff like that. The Rastaman to be over there on the DJs on the 1 and 2, smoking fat spliffs and stuff, and it would just intrigue me. So, you know what I'm saying, I started building with one Rasta brother, and because it was, you know, so in depth into the scriptures and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and it was African, it really gave me like this, like, okay, let me see what this is all about. So I started, you know, being a Christ believer and everything, I started trying to understand how this plays out in the scriptures. How does Haile Selassie fit in? How does this whole Ethiopian, you know what I'm saying, what does Ethiopia have to do with the scriptures? And I just started finding all of these things, and you know what I'm saying, the scriptures, and it started showing me, like, you know, the connection between Israel and Ethiopia. Then I think it wasn't that long after that they started, Israel started flying Ethiopian Colossians over. So I'm like, oh wow, this is wow, you know what I mean? So there's this connection going on. And this is where I started realizing, you know, that the true Israelites, you know what I'm saying, were us, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm seeing what's going on now, you know? You know, I used to be out there on 125th Street, man. I don't know, you know, Sarnet and them probably don't remember. I was a young boy walking around with my white dashikis and selling incense and oils on the street. You know what I'm saying? I roll up to the Nuwapi, the, you know, the Ansaru brothers back then, and stand over there with them, building, reading the holy tablets. And you know what I'm saying, a couple of times I had gotten into a couple of debates right on the corner with one of Dr. York's sons back then. You know what I'm saying? We was going at it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I was a young dude, so I'm still, you know, I'm still baby fresh. So you know what I'm saying? So that was really like the transition. So once I started connecting these scriptural dots, this is what happened. This is crazy, bro. And y'all just listen. My uncle, my grandparents, you know what I'm saying, on the Christian side, my mom's parents, they would go to Uncle Reggie's house on Thanksgiving. Uncle Reggie, awesome person. He lived right in the Roosevelt Uniondale Garden City area, right? Nice house, everything. He actually used to live right next door to Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy, right? So we go to Uncle Reggie's house and stuff. Now I'm all, you know, red, yellow, and green down and stuff. I'm coming in with my little tiny dreads popping up, and my Uncle Reggie, as soon as I get to the door, my Uncle Reggie looked at me like, "You Rastafarian?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Rastafarian." He was like, "Oh, okay." And I, you know, I used to always go to his house and see all of these African statues and stuff all over his house. The house was beautiful. He had all this African stuff in there. And so he says, "Yo, come take a walk with me while they making dinner and everything." So takes me downstairs where his little man cave is. He's got the TV and the football, and everybody watches football, and he has a little bar where he has his drinks and everything. And he brings me to this wall where he has all his pictures from his job at the League of United Nations. He spent 25 years as an advisor to Haile Selassie himself.
Wow.
Blew my mind. I'm like, oh,
And this is your uncle.
My uncle Reggie.
Wow.
So I already became a Rasta, not realizing his relationship, you know what I'm saying, to Haile Selassie. So I see the picture on the wall with him bowing, holding Haile Selassie's hand. I got the picture in my you know what I'm saying, in my Facebook and stuff. And so he's bowing down, holding bowing his head and smiling, and Haile Selassie's holding his hand. And he was the one family member who supported me. He was like, I guess he was Rasta, you know, beneath the
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
But he knew Haile Selassie and everything. And so this kind of was like a confirmation to me too, because I was getting a lot of kickback from my family and stuff like that. You know,
I imagine you, yeah.
Yeah. So he was the one family member who basically blessed me, you know, on my journey. He gave me some Bob Marley albums. He gave me some Ethiopian garb and stuff like that. And my Uncle Reggie was like, you know, just keep focused and, you know, keep following those teachings, you know what I'm saying? And so he was the only one in the family. And that, to me, that was like the most high blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did I know he knew how this? I didn't know, you know.
Right.
But I was like right at the pinnacle, like when I was full. I'm a roster, you know what I'm saying? So I had my little Gumby before I started dreading up my Gumby.
See, I got the her with you, man. I ain't got dreads, but I got the long hair with you.
Hey man, listen, real quick, man.
Oh, yeah.
Don't start showing off y'all hair, man.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all get me in my feelings. You know what I'm saying?
So if I can, bro, not to cut your wisdom, I want to ask you. I want to ask you 2 quick questions leading into my third question, and you can elaborate on the third question. Where you from?
I'm from Long Island, New York. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm a native New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Long Island, Hempstead, Freeport. You know what I'm saying? Uniondale, Huntington, Wine Dance. Big shout outs to all my LI crew.
Shout out. So let me ask you this. Are you affiliated with any Israelite camps? You know, ISUPK, GMS, IUIC? No,
I'm not affiliated with any camps. There's a couple of groups that I do build with on Clubhouse and stuff like that. I was originally Nyabingi House, you know what I'm saying? There's no Nyabingi houses here in Syracuse. I live in Syracuse now, but when I was in New York, I would go 125th Street, Nyabingi houses every Sabbath. So, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's yeah.
So based off that, how do you feel about like camp doctrine? Like, for example, the 12 tribe chart, and you know, white people can't, you know, go to heaven and all this stuff. How you feel about some of the camp doctrine?
All right, so now answer this question. If there's any of my Israelite brothers and sisters out there, you know what I'm saying, Salakia, but they came out of Rasta. Okay. So understand that that Haile Selassie in like early 19, I think it was like 1930s, 1940s, he had sent some priests from Ethiopia to Harlem. Okay. And these priests had established like kind of this EWF, the Ethiopian World Federation organization going on over there. Specific people who were going in, I don't remember some of their names, were they were around, and they were, you know, in the community, and you know what I'm saying, bringing this, you know, Ethiopian World Federation culture. They were trying to move people from calling themselves Black and African and calling themselves Ethiopian, right? So one of the things, it influenced a particular person who everyone knows is Abba Bivens. Abba Bivens,
right,
who started the One West camp.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So they came out of Rastafari.
Okay. I didn't know that.
That's heavy, bro. That's heavy. I don't know.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah. I had no clue.
That's heavy.
Yeah. And One West camp, you know, Abba Bivens was growing up at that time, seeing the EWF right there in Harlem, you know what I'm saying? And he was highly influenced by it. One of the people who had came out was one who had started an earlier shoot of Sephardic, Black Sephardics, you know what I'm saying? So like Ethiopian Sephardic Judaism. And then Abba Bivens and the One West camp came up out of that. So yeah. Yeah, and that you know, that I got that supporting argument for my biblical arguments and stuff when I do this debate on how it's last.
So how do you feel about Christians overall? Do you feel like we are part of the brotherhood, or
absolutely Christians?
Amen. See, there we go.
Haile Selassie was a Christian, and here's the deal: a lot of rosters will say that Haile Selassie is Jesus, or Haile Selassie is God. You know, there's different camps in the rosters.
I'm just about to ask you about that, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's Nyabingis, there's Bubble Shantis, there's 12 tribes. And the 12 tribe chart, understand that the first person to make a 12 tribe chart was not the Israelites. It was a Rastafarian brother named Prophet Gad, who Bob Marley was under. The first 12 tribe chart came from Prophet Gad. That predates the present 12 tribe chart. Yeah, they got different way of looking at the 12 tribes. However, the first 12 tribe charts came from Rastas as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's what's up. Go ahead, brother P. My bro.
So I was going to ask you, because I told you I was listening to the debate between you and Israel
Yeah.
Doctrine.
Right.
Why do you look at Paul as an apostate?
Yeah. All right. And I get a lot of pushback from this too. All right. So it was very interesting because Paul basically, he really did preach against the law. The law was a foundation of which he was he was a Pharisee. So he had practiced all of the feast days and the holy days and such, you know what I'm saying? Being a Pharisee, he was, under that Levitical priesthood, you know what I'm saying? So he was under the laws, but he was also a Roman citizen. And so when he began going to preach to the Gentile, and there's like two arguments, between, whether Paul was preaching against the word or whether Paul was arguing or preaching to the Jews who were amongst the Gentiles. Two totally different arguments, but people have issues with Paul. So anyway, so when Paul goes, to the Gentiles, he basically says, doing Rome as Romans do. He said, all things are lawful, but not expedient unto me, right? So wait, all things ain't lawful if you're a Pharisee. You see what I'm saying? He also says, that nothing is unclean of itself. He's speaking about, food and eating. Don't if somebody else doesn't eat, or they, you know what I'm saying, or they don't eat this or they don't eat that, don't burden them. However, you know what I'm saying? Nothing is unclean of itself. You can eat anything you want to. That's against the dietary laws. Okay. He even in Acts, he goes on to I believe it was Brother James that come up. He's like, yo, Paul, I'm paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So he comes up to Paul, like, yo, Paul, I hear you telling people not to get circumcised, and is this true? And then you go to Galatians chapter 5, verse 2, and that's exactly what Paul did. He said, don't get circumcised, because if you get circumcised, Christ availeth you nothing. He said, if you're circumcised and you become a debtor to do the whole law, and you would be falling away from grace. That's not a good thing. So no, don't get circumcised, right? So he's telling folks not to do these things. You know what I'm saying? Not to be a debtor unto the old law. And where my discrepancy is, James and John and Peter always supported what Christ said about following the commandments. Christ said, he said, why ask who is good when there what is good when there is who is good? If you would live, follow the commandments. Paul says the commandments brought him all manner of sin. He said he didn't know what coveting was when he said before he knew the law, sin was dead. You can't sin if you don't know the law, right? It's like a child who doesn't know that they're doing something wrong, right? So you're not guilty of sin if you don't know the law. But he said, once I knew the law, I didn't know what coveting was. I knew what coveting was. I found out what coveting was. And then all of a sudden it put all manners of coveting in my members. So all of a sudden now he's blaming the law for his own coveting. So Paul is wild, because all these other cats basically support, like Christ came to fulfill the law, right? And you're supposed to do what's good. And when you baptized in spirit, the Holy Spirit gives you understanding, and it's supposed to write the laws upon the tablets of your heart. You know what I'm saying? Psalm says all of these good things about the law. You know what I'm saying? The law is a reviveth the soul. It's to be sought after like precious gold. It's like honey unto the lips and the honeycomb. And the scripture's talking awesome about the law. The law, I need to get the law, bro. But then when you talk to Paul like, man, the law brings death. The law brought sin unto me, brought death unto me. I died.
Is it your opinion that Paul basically taught? And I know we're gonna get back to, I want to get back to how your family reacted to you becoming a roster, and then how you kind of went off into the atheist scientific realm for a little bit.
Right.
But just last thing on Paul, do you feel that Paul was teaching a different doctrine than Christ?
He was teaching the doctrine of grace, and Christ he was bringing grace. But you gotta remember, like, when Christ was crucified, that was supposed to have happened. It was supposed to be, the cup that God had given, that was the purpose of him, was to become the sin offering, you know what I'm saying, or the Passover offering, you know what I'm saying, in the flesh, so that would be taken care of, but that doesn't mean that we're not supposed to continue to try and be favorable in God's eyes and eat the right things and not do this, and we're not supposed to be sexually deviant or sleep with somebody else's wives, and the law still stands. Paul, he said all things are lawful but not expedient, meaning I can do anything I want to if it works for me, right? So yeah, to a degree, because he went to Rome and did as the Romans did. Right, that's basically what he's saying. I'm going to Rome. I'm in Rome. I'm over here. I'm going to eat food sacrificed to idols. And then he justifies it. He says, because he's preaching to these people, he says, I become all things to all men. And he says, to those who are weak, I make myself weak. And to those who are this, I make myself that. So basically, this dude is shifting just to, and his excuse is that he's doing it to win a few, to win souls. So he says, if the glory of God aboundeth in my life, why am I then called a sinner?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Repeat that, please.
And if the glory of God aboundeth in my life, why am I considered a sinner? So in other words, he lies to get you to worship God. He doesn't see himself as a sinner.
Wow.
Because his lie was for God to abound.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I heard that before, but I never tripped up. That's deep.
Right. So he said, as long as God abounds in whatever he's doing, if he's eating food sacrificed to idols, it's because he's going amongst these people so that he can teach them about Jesus, grace, and faith. And
so he can win souls, right?
Law, he can do whatever he wants as long as he's doing it for God.
Right. So make it analogous to today. It's kind of like when we say, I'm getting with you on your level.
Right.
I'm talking to that brother on his level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wow.
You go someplace to preach to somebody and bring them, saying the gospel of Yeshua HaMashiach, and they offer you some food, you know what I'm saying? So you sit down at their table, and if you don't take that food, then you're disrespecting them. So I can understand where Paul was going with it. I just think that he was speeding on that one, man.
He took it a little too far. Okay, so let me ask you this.
Right.
Like your parents and like grandparents, your other aunts and uncles besides the one who you were telling us about,
right,
that knew Haile Selassie,
right?
How did they react to your transition?
See, at first when because I'd have my Bible and stuff. Like when I stayed with my grandmother's parents for a while when I was in high school, and my grandmother, my grandfather, they had the church right next door. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who knows me, they know my grandmother's house is right next door to the church. You know what I'm saying? So they would get upset when they would see like I had this nice picture of Haile Selassie, and I had all my red, yellow, and green flags, and I tried to dress my room up. You know what I'm saying? And have those things, and I wake up in the morning, all of those things are pushed in the corner somewhere. My grandparents would look at it like it was witchcraft to them, and I'm like, you pushing the picture of a Christian king from the loins of King Solomon, and this man is a Christian. Y'all got a picture of Bishop Washington on your wall, and that white Jesus rug down in the bottom of the basement over there. But you gonna push my Haile Selassie picture down? I used to get upset, yo.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I got a lot of kickback. And here's the deal, though. When I became an atheist, it was worse. So they was really.
I bet.
God anymore.
You gotta believe in something.
Yeah. So coming back. Oh, now they love me. They love Rastafari right now. You
gotta believe in something, bro.
Right. So yeah. So I think it was it gave them a little bit of a, my grandparents now, they're 90 and 91. They don't care.
Hey, good. I'm glad they still alive, bro. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, God gave them, longevity, gave them long days, and so I give thanks for them.
My grandmother raised me. I lost her in 2017. She was 87. So I had her for a while. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's good that you're still with you.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. I'm grateful. I thank the Most High for them. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have had that biblical knowledge. That biblical knowledge actually transformed into something that helped me later on, because if it wasn't for the Bible and studying the law of the Bible, I'm trying to go to law school. So I'm, what I'm saying, that's my step. I just, got the paralegal thing. I had to go and fight for my son in court, and I was spitting precedent and statute in them courts like I was spitting scriptures out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that if it wasn't for my biblical, background, I don't think I would have had that that wherewithal to go into those courts, fight for my son. I won,
I hate to keep doing this, bro, but I need you to say that again. If it wasn't for what now?
If it wasn't for my biblical background and being learned in scriptures and stuff, I wouldn't have been able to go into that courthouse, studied and learned on these statutes and these precedents, and stand up there and do what I was able to do,
As you was fighting for your child.
Right.
So I asked you to repeat that because we have a dichotomy in our community where I'm not even a Christian, bro. But I can see, I just left church a few hours ago, Pastor Appreciation Day. My wife's uncle is the pastor, and I went and paid him respects because that's my man.
Right.
I don't have to still be a Christian to understand the role him and that church played in my life. You feel me? And so we act like because we not Christian or we not in church no more, that all of a sudden everything that was poured into us from the church is somehow bad now. So I just wanted you to repeat that because like you said, if it wasn't for what you got from that, you wouldn't have been able to go into court and been as equipped as you was to fight for your child. You see what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, we think the Bible is evil, and no, it ain't that. What was done to us at the hands of those Europeans who co-opted this belief and used it in a nefarious way, that's evil. But the way we used it, no, that you can't mix up the two. But I just had to throw that out there.
You know what I'm saying? It was definitely a schoolroom. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was something that, it educated me, you know what I'm saying? It really did. And so I give thanks to the Most High for establishing it. The Bible says that, teach a child in the way that they shall go and they will not depart from it. You know what I mean? And even though I had that little, that break, with the atheism and stuff like that, that was an awesome thing because I started studying science and I started studying, genetics and history and stuff like that. And then all these things are now fitting in to how, I view the scriptures and view the interpretations of the scriptures, the historical, the genetic lines, the family lines, bloodlines, all of that. It's all coming together, so that even that moment was like a falling away, but it was a schoolroom for me as well, so.
How did you segue into the atheism?
Oh, when my father passed away, and I was getting a lot of kickback and stuff with being a roster in the whole nine, and I was seeing a lot of things that I felt uncomfortable about with the church, and I became very contentious, you know what I'm saying, with even the Europeans' use of the Bible to subdue us and oppress us, through religion. I started seeing a lot of these cult leaders and stuff like that. I had, one of my close friends was into the Wapians and stuff, and he lived on a Brooklyn camp with, Dr. York and stuff before they went to Georgia and everything like that. And so he was the Brooklyn camp, and certain things had happened to him. Just started seeing the human, aspect, the real frailties of human, and professing to be of God, but still falling short. And it started frustrating me, you know what I'm saying? And so after my father had passed away, I think it was one of the most difficult times once he passed away. I think that's really what kind of broke my resolve because, you know what I'm saying? I was like, my mind was just like, there can't be anything. There's nothing, you know what I'm saying? So that, that was really what had done that. So it took me a while, but it was the Most High that got me through that court. Got me out, fought for my son, you know what I'm saying? I won my cases and stuff. And then I started working for attorneys, and I'm like, you know, if it wasn't for the Most High, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't have gotten this far. If it wasn't for them scriptures, I wouldn't have gotten this far. So I got to bring myself back to where, you know what I'm saying, for me, how I understand things. I need that in my life. And I want my son, you know, I gave my son a Hebrew name, you know what I'm saying? There's already been, even when I was, you know, an atheist, I still gave my son a Hebrew name, man. It's already been Zion, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't get the slave last name. He's got a whole new last name with the Xion. And so there was still that, you know, I was still had my reverence toward Haile Selassie and Christ, because I didn't put, you know, the weaknesses of men upon those figures, you know what I'm saying? But I did blame the church and you know, a lot of religious leaders and stuff, and people who claim to be religious, for a lot of, you know, things that I saw that were just not right, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that's what made me fall away for a while, but I'm back, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt. So let me ask you this: as far as coming back, how did you start getting into the debates and things of that
Yeah,
nature?
well, that's what it was, man. Like, you know, I started debating on Lions Den, and I was debating as an atheist. You know, a lot of debates that you'll see, I'm putting science against the Bible.
Shout out to Brother Sal Showtime.
No doubt. And so I started debating science, and from an atheistic standpoint, science versus, you know, religion. But the more I started dealing, you know what I'm saying, like reasoning with, you know, brothers like Brother Joshua, you know what I'm saying, from big shout out to the source, brother JJ 7000, all of these brothers, I'm getting into.
Shout out to JJ.
Yeah, big shout out to JJ. You know, and I'm getting into with these brothers and stuff, you know what I'm saying, you know, and they biting back, and we tussling, right? But it just re-sparked that knowledge, that scriptural knowledge in me, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of the Israelite brothers and stuff like that, that just, you know, and Christian brothers and the Kemetic brothers and stuff like that. It just really sparked that spirituality thing. And one thing JJ had said to me one time, man, it was a cut, man. He was like, man, how you represent African culture and your African ancestors, and you don't believe in nothing. He said your ancestors believed in something. Your ancestors believed in that. I was like, ooh. I ain't showing that, but I was like, ooh, that hurt. So I was like, you know, so yeah, it was because of them, you know what I'm saying? It was because of brothers in the source. It was because of brothers like Jeremiah, Joshua, JJ 7000. You know what I'm saying? I can't even count the many names of people who really brought that, you know what I'm saying, that fire back, you know what I'm saying? But they did.
That's what's up, man. And it's an awesome thing that you was able to come back to your roots, and that you recognize those brothers and they role in helping you get back.
Absolutely, man. Gotta give credit where credit is due. So, you know.
No doubt. Did you have a question, nobody?
And I was going to say, my story is somewhat similar to yours. You know, I got into the church, became ordained, and all this good stuff. And I started listening to people like Dr. Ray Higgins and people like that or whatever. And I left the church as well, became an atheist for a little while. And after being in atheism, I came across the Hebrew Israelites. And you know, listening to their doctrine, and I became an online member of GOCC and things like that.
Okay.
And you know, after that, just pretty much found my way back to Christianity under the same notions that you mentioned.
Yeah, I got him back in the church.
You know what I'm saying? So to hear your story and your transition sounds somewhat similar to mine. I mean, outside of the fact of me having like family members mad at me, because I've always been a loner, so I don't really care what family members and all that say. I didn't really have nobody breathing down my neck when it came to that. But through the grace of God, I found my way back as well. So I just want to ask you, now that you're back in the fold by way of being Israel, coming from being an atheist, do you still engage with atheists and and agnostics? And how do you feel about more Black people of today looking into atheism? Do you think that that's like the white man's religion or white man belief system, for lack of a better term?
Right. Well, I think, all right. So I can still engage in those, I just look at it as being just focusing on objective things, you know what I'm saying? Science, the universe, space, you know what I'm saying? Mathematics, quantum physics, things like of that nature. And I think that we as a people need to do more of that. I think people, especially when I was like early before I went into atheism, I really didn't. I like science and stuff like that, but I don't think I had an in-depth understanding of it because I leaned so heavily on just how I was taught the Bible. And so I don't think I had a really realistic view of the universe because all I had to do was focus on Jesus. You talk to my grandparents, well, what's the answer to this question? Jesus. What's the answer to E equals MC squared? It's Jesus. What's the answer to it's Jesus? You know what I'm saying?
Jesus. Oh yeah.
That's the answer to everything. But that would leave you, you know what I'm saying, not having all of these other, knowledge, you know what I'm saying, to even come back and then revisit the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, and understand like there's certain things in there that that might not seem scientific, but you got apologetic, ways to understand the scriptures and really consider all of these objectives. So I think that we just need to our people just need to study more science. We need to study more about mathematics and stuff like that, along with our studies, you know what I'm saying, along with our scriptures, I don't think that they have to go into atheism to do that or be an atheist or an agnostic. But studying things that are objective facts and scientific facts, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, and having your spiritual, you know what I'm saying, and your objective side, your subjective and your objective side, your spiritual side and your, carnal side. They can say carnal or whatever. You still in the flesh. We still here. We still got to know what we should not eat. You know what I'm saying? We got to know what's good for us, what's not good for us. We got to know our herbs and our plants. If we need to heal ourselves, we got to know these things, right? So you don't just sitting here and pray everything off, right? And God gave you plants for a reason, you know what I'm saying? And the Bible says that my people die for a lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Not for a lack of Jesus, not for a lack of spirituality, not for a lack of anything else. We die for a lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Those objective knowledge, that objective truth is a necessity. It's a part of your foundation. Just having scripture, great to know the word and have the faith. But you out in that desert and you don't know how to survive. You don't know what plants to eat, what not to eat, where to find water. You got a problem. You're gonna die.
That's right.
Now enough prayer is gonna stop that.
That's true. That's true. And you know how a lot of non-believers like to say that Bible believers don't believe in science, when what you just iterated, there's a lot of science in the Bible. People also forget that a lot of, like I said, some Bible believers started methods that we use in modern science today.
Right.
So for the people that say that, oh, you can't be a Bible believer and believe in science, when as you said, the Bible talks about herbs, the Bible talks about healing. Even at the time in the Bible when it was talking about the earth having a beginning, what do modern science say now? Oh yeah, the earth, the universe does have a beginning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can
pull
pull out
the Big Bang, right? They talk about the Big Bang. I see a lot of brews like, oh, y'all believe in the Big Bang. The Bible says that God spoke things into existence.
It happened. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, if you heard the voice of God, you think it's going to be timid? You think it's going to sound like, you know what I'm saying?
What they say his voice sound like?
Right.
So what? I'm just saying.
I don't know.
If you believe the narrative, what his voice sound like?
Right.
Watch this. This would get me about the Big Bang Theory. A lot of non-believers have now harped on the Big Bang Theory, thinking that it would somehow oppose the Bible. But what they don't know is the Big Bang Theory was created by a Bible believer,
right?
Not an atheist, not a devil. So if we look right now, there are only two arguments that they fight for the existence of the earth. It either was created by intelligent design
Right.
or the Big Bang Theory. Both of them come from Bible believers.
Right.
Ain't that something?
Right.
Hey man, I'm looking at this, man, and I just want, cause I'm looking at Leandre. I'm looking at you, little bro. I'm looking at my man Zion. I'm looking at Byron. If I start believing in the Bible, is my hair gonna grow long?
It might. You got look. If you want your hair to grow back according to the Bible, what you got to do is you got to fast for 7 days, right? You got to walk around. You got to walk around your house 7 times, like they did the walls. I'm just I'm just messing with you.
Hey, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, look at Jerome.
Yeah,
I'm like, all these
Bible
jokers
believers
on my
Yeah.
channel
We got long
that
hair.
believe in the Bible got long. Not one of y'all jokers is bald.
See?
Like, what the hell is going on? Except Israel Doctrine.
Right.
You're the only one that's bald like me.
I think he bald by choice though. I think he likes that look.
I think so.
Yeah, he liked that.
Yeah, see, I ain't bald by choice. I got the George Jefferson going on.
So you better, hey boy, you better come back to Christ. Christ don't only give you salvation; He'll give you her.
Hey, it's gonna be no shave November, man. I'm gonna cut this little skinny goatee off. Next time y'all see me, man, I'm gonna have the Rick Ross going.
Okay. You gonna bald?
But yeah, man, I just thought about that. I'm like, dang, man, every Christian in Bible. Yeah, well, Cap ain't got no hair.
Yeah, right. But watch it, and that's because we don't trust in Bosley Hair Club for men. We trust in the Bible for men.
You stupid. So speaking of my brother Cap, I call him Captain K, but his name is Captain DeGauga, Captain 10,000 DeGauga boy of ISUPK. Good brother, real good brother. He a captain in ISUPK right here in St. Louis. Do a lot of positive things for the people. As it relates to like the camp doctrine and things like that, I know my brother asked you about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Were you ever tempted to join a camp or you know, deal with them on that level?
Yeah, when I was in South Carolina, because I had lived in Charleston, South Carolina for about 10 years.
Shout out to Jerome.
And yeah, so I had lived out there for about 10 years. And we used to go to this soul vegetarian restaurant. Me and my little brother used to love to go there. You know what I'm saying? The Israelite brothers, those are the ones that come underneath what's his name? Ben Ami's people, right? I love their vibes, man. They're just the most blessed, you know what I'm saying, kind. They don't move like a lot of these other brothers be out there fighting. You going to hell, you cracker. They don't rock like that, right? So I'd go, me and my brother would go in there, and they had the camp in the back. It was a big building, and it used to be like a daycare or whatever. But they had their restaurant in the front, and in the back, you know, they had living quarters and stuff. They had the sisters and everything. I used to just love to see the sisters in their dress, you know what I'm saying? They just covered, and they just so modest and everything.
Modesty, yeah.
And it was beautiful to me. And we go up in there, and you know, and a lot of times he didn't. It was funny because me and my brother always make this joke, and we come in. You know what I'm saying? The little bell would ring on the, you know, jingle on the door and stuff. We'd go and sit down. And then the brother would come out. He'd be like, Shalom, brothers, what are y'all having today? He's just in this mad, mellow kind of vibe just the whole time. And he just go like slowly walk into the kitchen. It'd take him maybe like 30, 40 minutes to get the food prepared. But while he's, you know, they're making the food and everything like that, he's just talking to us about scriptures and talking to us. And that was the one camp that I really would have joined, if you know what I'm saying. I called, you know, that's the Desdemona Israelites, you know what I'm saying. I rock with them brothers, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I was to go to a camp, it would have to be one of them, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So based off what you said about science previously,
yeah.
How do you feel about the notion that non-believers feel like Bible believers don't believe in science?
Because there's a lot of folks in the religion, you know, believers that don't, you know, and it's interesting. It's like, you know, I think for some people, you know, just they're studied in the scriptures, and that's as far as they want to take it, but they don't, you know, this is one of the reasons why you got flat earthers, you know what I'm saying? Because they're looking at scriptures from one specific, one way, but they're not reading a little bit deeper, and since they have no knowledge of science, then they can't juxtapose or compare science with scriptural doctrine. And so the earth is flat, they're sitting on 4 pillars, and they missing the mark. You know what I mean? They don't understand that those things were spoken of in a very metaphysical way. You know what I'm saying? So they're looking at that as literal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's 4 pillars under the earth. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting on a flat disc with a snow globe dome over the top. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm like, see, now, if you knew some daggone science, you wouldn't be living in a snow globe.
Right. Snow globe. Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the problem, you know?
Nah, yeah, I agree, man.
I don't be knowing what to say to stuff like that, man. I really don't. I don't know what to say. Like,
I had a debate with Takari Dawson on this, and I got gypped. I got gypped because two of the judges on the den were flat earthers. They should not have been in this debate.
How they judges and they flat earthers?
Yeah, they don't make sense.
Abdul Abaka and Carla Way. Both of them are flat earthers. Both of them judge because they didn't mean to do that. You know what I'm saying? They had other judges, but those judges didn't show up, so they were like scrambling to get judges. You know what I'm saying? And so last minute, of course, these 2 people going to stick their hand up like, yeah, I'll judge. You know what I'm saying? And then so I lost that debate, but you know, I was like, so that's why I went so hard on Israel doctrine. I had to slap his head up because I lost the car. Are you kidding me?
Over flat earth? Over flat earth?
Like, yo, bro, I don't know what planet y'all living on, man. So
I agree with that,
bro. By that, but it's all good. So yeah, Abdul, I said, yo, I hit Abdul. I was like, yo, Abdul, since you want to go and sabotage my debate, I'm challenging you to a debate on flat earth. He said he's going to do it, this, that, and the other. He ended up running. He ran from it, and then so I got like a default win off of that. You know what I'm saying? And then when we had the debate with Israel Doctrine, I said I ain't slipping this time, dude. I'm coming here with the PowerPoint all straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming with my arguments. You know what I'm saying? Said I'm gonna walk them right in, point by point by point by point. I'm not gonna worry about what Israel Doctrine's talking about because he always gonna stay straight at the next. You know what I'm saying? And act like he don't know what's going on. All right, I don't know what this brother's talking about. You know what I'm listening.
Hey, that debate, hey, bro, I'm gonna send you that debate with him and Israel Doctrine. I'm like halfway through. It's fine. Yeah. I'm gonna send it to you though.
And you know, I watch a lot of debates, but yeah, I ain't seen that one yet.
We gonna get ready to wrap it up because I got Rabbi Lewis coming up next. So I don't know if I mentioned it to you, me and my brother. We've been working on this for a while, getting a debate league of our own started. Right. And you know, we taking it to a little bit of a different level because the champion of our league, not only is you gonna get the accolades that come along with being the champion, you know, a trophy or a plaque, but we sending $300 to your PayPal or your cash. Awesome. If you win MVP, $150. As the league get a little older, you win Rookie of the Year, you get $100, etc. But we working on the logistics, so when we get that popping, you know, we definitely reach out to you, and you know, definitely. But
I'll definitely go.
We also have like what we call moderated dialogues, debates, things of that nature. Right. So we got a lot of people, man, who you'll be able to have some conversations with. Yeah. Absolutely. We try to keep it to where the audience, you know, ain't nobody gonna convert each other, but at least the audience will get edified. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, if you willing, man, we can definitely put together some conversations for you.
Yeah, anybody, you know, want to pick up this because I'm pretty tight on this debate. Supposed to be coming up with Mladi. Shout out to Mladi. You know what I'm saying? My brothers are in Black Jesus Ministries and all of them brothers. You know what I'm saying? Anybody want to debate me on Haile Selassie, Ethiopia, on the Ethiopian connection to Israel, the New Jerusalem being Ethiopia? You know what I'm saying? I'm putting it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Shots fired. As y'all can see, man, the brother ain't running from nothing, and he just gave y'all a premise, a subject for y'all to start out with, man. If I could also say this about our debate league too, we're gonna have judges and stuff like that, but our debate league gonna be a little different, man. Our debate league is gonna be about truth, man. Like for example, ain't nobody gonna be running up in here talking about 1 + 1 = 3, and then I give you my vote just because you're a Christian. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we're not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some knowledgeable brothers and sisters as judges for each debate, non-biased, who knows a lot about the subject at hand. Therefore, we can give points and take away points based on who's telling the truth.
Right. Y'all don't come in here talking about a Saul was crucified and think because I'm a comedic saver, I'm gonna give you the win.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not happening.
You ain't finna come in here talking about, hey man, oranges really come from grapes and you get them out, you know, they're like, nah, man, we ain't just taking your side on that. We holding down truth, man. This is the home of the truth, where the truth lives out there, man. And this is Paradigm Shift, and we are trying to shift people paradigm in these social media streets. You know, we watch everybody too. We watch Debate Talk for You, Sarnetta TV, SVDL, Modern Day Debates, all that stuff, man. And if you're gonna be pro-Black, and if you're actually into Black people learning the truth, then you can't be biased. You know what I'm saying? You can have a homeboy, but if your homeboy wrong, your homeboy wrong, man. We ain't just sitting up here to just pat nobody on the back just to, you know, make you feel good. We actually want the people to have the truth, no matter what the subject is. And having brothers like you, you already got hearts in my eyes once you said Christians can be saved. So we ain't one, you know. You know what I'm saying?
And you will see, bro, like my stance is this. Don't say you pro-Black, and then when a Black person disagree with you, you don't want to deal with them, you want to curse them out.
Yes, your mama. Yes, your daddy.
You pro-Black.
Right.
You pro-Black when Black people agree with you and when they disagree with you.
Right.
Not just when they agree with you.
You gotta watch out for them cats that always want to turn around and call you a Hamite when they get mad at you. Oh, you
right.
You might, man. You
following Esau.
You got that white man. I call it the white man fallacy argument. And then you come out of a book and you come out of a text and you cite your primary source or secondary source. They be like, man, some white man made that. I'm like, man, you don't stop that. You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to destroy the information by putting a white face on it. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It's factual and it's supported by peer review sources. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna have to eat that. You have to take that lump. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
The argument.
And bro, they got to get out that mind frame. They got to get out that mind frame, because if something is true, it's objective. That means it's true for Black people, white people, Mexican people. Like, for example, 1 + 1 = 2. Right. If you got that from a white person, can't no Black person say, well, you got that from the white man. It's still 2. Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go find a Black person to get it from, but still.
Of course.
right. I feel like that
stuff. At the same time, I go to Black scholars too. But if I do my research, and the information is right and exact, I don't care who wrote it. I'm going.
There we go. That's the whole thing. Exactly. That's the whole bottom line, right? If it's true, it's true, man.
Information is information, man. Information ain't got no color.
Right.
Right.
And this the thing. They can be a racist and straight up wouldn't deal with me on a personal basis.
Right.
If they said 1 + 1 = 2, it is what it is. I ain't gotta like them. Right. I ain't gotta deal with them. Right. But that information is correct. Like it's the Godfather quote. It's business. It ain't personal. So you know. But yeah, bro. Let the people who remain and know where they can find you, man, and what you got going on social media wise, YouTube wise, the whole demo. Yeah.
I've been on Clubhouse, you know what I'm saying? We do Torah readings every night on Genesis Beresis channel. We do the Torah readings every night. We over there breaking down the Torah with my brother Menelik and Zaya, you know what I'm saying? My other brother so we over there doing that every night. We doing the Torah. Clubhouse, I'm over there with Black Jesus Ministries. Y'all find me in there. Sometimes I'm in Captain Tazariak's room. Europa Report TV. Big shout out to LV Europa.
Shout out LV.
Shout out LV.
That's my brother, man. He lived right down the block from me, man.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
that's a good brother.
Yeah. He'll pull up on me any given Sunday. I'll turn around. This boy will be sitting in my parking lot. Like, come on, man, let's go ride. Let's go to the studio. So yeah, so I'll be on, those channels. God First, I think it was. There's a couple of different groups that I'll be on. So yeah, y'all can follow me, Zion Waring, WARING, on Clubhouse. You can find me on Clubhouse. I'm on social media like Facebook and stuff. I'm in the back chats in the Lions Den. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done anything with the Source, but we still tight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see some of my debates in the Source and stuff too. So I've been moving around, man. I was briefly on Sarnetta, but that was one night that he had gotten so mad at JJ that he just erased the whole entire. So y'all,
I remember that. You look familiar. I didn't even realize you was one of the brothers that was on there until you just said it though. That was in May.
Right.
The reason I know it was in May because I was on my way to Memphis.
Right. I just got my foot in the water. I just got on something. I was all excited, and then he just took it. I was so mad at Saul, man. I was like, psh.
Yeah, hey, bro, you remember when we went to Memphis in May? That was back then.
Yeah.
I was on my way to Memphis listening to that.
Right.
See, we on it, bro. The dude giving you dates and times. See, we on it over here, man.
Real talk. I remember that.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Ratchet Craig and his
shout out Ratchet Craig.
Shout out to Ratchet Craig.
Ratchet Craig. Yo, I smushed his head on a debate. We had a little back and forth. And that I think is on YouTube too. Me and Ratchet Craig got it in on the back alley and stuff.
Okay, that's my dude.
Yeah, I smacked him up though. He was mad about that. That was on that topic was about evolution.
Okay.
And he didn't know what to do because I started breaking down, saying Australopithecus all the way up to Homo erectus, Homo sapien, Homo habilis.
Hey, bro, we might got to do a tag team debate on that, man. We got some atheists in the back chat, and I'll be trying to tell them.
Oh, hey, bro, I'm about to add you to the Paradigm Shift back chat group.
Definitely, man, definitely. I think I was in there one time, but I don't know what happened. I didn't see it, pop up anymore. So I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I deleted the old one. It got a little too crazy.
Okay, that's why.
I had to regulate a little bit. So yeah, but we back popping.
Yeah, sometimes folks start acting up, and then you know what I'm saying. And I tell people like when I come into debate or come into the room, I'm trying to be Guru from Gangstar. You know how monotone and mellow he is.
Right.
They want me to go bust the rhymes, and I do that. I go bust the rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get one side, you can get the other. You get a Guru.
Give you that same energy.
Right.
Give him that same energy. That same energy. Yeah.
So yeah.
As long as we ain't talking about nobody mamas, like you said, that's why we dropped the first chat, because we want people in there talking about people mamas, telling people suck penis, all that. Now we just want to deal with the information, man.
Yeah, Israel doctrine, and that was so funny because I had watched the video, and he's sitting over there like, man, they attacking my family. I was like, yo, this dude told me he hoped my son died.
See, man.
What?
That ain't gonna happen over. That ain't gonna happen over here. That ain't gonna happen over here, man. But definitely,
it'll be a wrap. It'll be a wrap over here, bro.
Bro, he be bugging in the back. Then he come over on his platform or something, and he act like, you know what I'm saying, like he cleaner than, you know what I'm saying, than Lily, like a dove.
I don't deal with that at all. That get me tight. That type of stuff get me tight.
That's why there was so much tension in that debate between me and him, because there was a whole lot of arguing that, and ad homs and stuff flying around before we even got on that debate.
Don't get me wrong though, we like the drama, but it don't have to get
turn up. Like I said, you can turn up and we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we all still black people, but
don't use
all that.
Right.
Yeah, because that's you talking about my son, like, bro. Somebody say something about my son, I'll buy you a ticket to come say that in my face. I'll buy the ticket. Real shit. Like, don't play with me about my kids, man. Like, But yeah, bro. So yeah, man, it been a pleasure building with you, man. I'm looking forward to doing it again. I got Rabbi Lewis coming up next, man. So I'm gonna jump off, and my kids making food. I'm gonna try to feed my face right quick and jump right back on. So, but yeah, man, I'm looking forward to building with you again for sure, bro.
Good look, man. Shalom, you know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt. All right, little bro, man. I know you got to tend to my sis. So until next time, family, that's peace.